Hey everyone, and welcome back to Talk Emma, the podcast where we don't just teach you English, we help you actually speak it confidently, naturally, like it belongs to you. Because it does. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Hello everyone. So happy to be here with you today.
Okay, Jack, how are you doing today?
I am doing really well, although I have to say today's topic hits close to home for me.
Really? Why?
Because I remember years ago, I tried to learn Spanish. I studied for months. I had the books, I had the apps, I knew the grammar, I knew the vocabulary.
But
the moment someone actually spoke Spanish to me, my brain completely shut down, like a computer that suddenly overheats and just stops.
the overheating brain. Yes, every language learner knows this feeling.
Every single one. And I kept thinking, why? Why do I know all this Spanish, but I cannot speak it?
And that question, why, is exactly what today's episode answers.
Because knowing a language and speaking a language are two completely different things.
Two completely different skills. And today, we are going to talk about 3 simple steps that bridge that gap.
Not grammar rules, not vocabulary lists.
Just 3 real practical things that real people can do, starting today.
And before we start, if Talk Emma is helping your English every day, please subscribe to the channel, like this episode, and share it with one friend who knows English but cannot seem to speak it fluently.
We upload a brand new episode every single day. Okay, let's fix this once and for all. Okay, before the 3 steps, I want to ask you something, Jack.
Go ahead.
I want to ask you, when someone asks you a question in English, what do most learners say?
Short answers, very short. Do you like your job? Yes.
That's it? Just yes?
Just yes, or yes, it is good.
2 words, maximum.
And then silence. And the other person thinks, okay, and now what do I say?
And suddenly the conversation stops before it even started.
And the learner thinks, I answered the question. What went wrong?
Nothing went wrong with the grammar, nothing went wrong with the vocabulary, but something went wrong with the conversation.
Because conversation is not just questions and answers. It is connection. It is building something together.
And you cannot build something together with one-word answers.
Which leads us perfectly to
Step 1. Step 1, don't just answer, expand.
expand. Such an important word and such a simple idea.
When someone asks you something, don't just give the minimum answer. Give them something to work with, something to respond to, something that keeps the conversation alive.
Because fluency is not about perfect grammar. Fluency is about keeping the conversation flowing.
Exactly. And the way you keep it flowing is by expanding your answers.
Let's look at an example. Someone asks, do you like your job?
Basic answer, yes, I like it. Not wrong, but conversation stopper.
Expanded answer, yes, actually, I really enjoy it. I work in marketing, and I love the creative side of it. Every project is different, so it never gets boring. Although the Monday morning meetings could probably be shorter.
Now that is a conversation starter.
Because I answered the question, but I also gave
A reason, I love the creative side.
a detail, every project is different,
A little humor, Monday meetings could probably be shorter.
and now the other person has 3 things they can ask about. The creative side, the variety, the Monday meetings.
The conversation has somewhere to go. It has legs.
And you did not need advanced vocabulary to do that. You did not need perfect grammar.
You just needed to expand. Say a little more than the minimum.
Let's try another example. Someone asks, where are you from?
Basic answer, I am from Italy. Correct, but flat, dead end.
Expanded answer, I am from a small town in the south of Italy. Not many people have heard of it, but it is absolutely beautiful. I've been living here for about 3 years now. I miss the food every single day, honestly.
Now I want to ask, where exactly? How did you end up here? What food do you miss most?
The conversation is alive, moving, breathing.
All from just expanding, Adding a little more. Not performing, not showing off, just talking like a real human being.
And here's the most important thing about step 1.
Tell us.
You do not need to expand perfectly. You do not need to expand beautifully. You just need to expand honestly.
Talk about what you actually think, what you actually feel, what you actually experienced.
Because authentic, imperfect expansion is 1,000 times better than perfect silence.
1,000 times, always.
Now, step 2, and this one, I think, is the most powerful of all 3.
Step 2. Connect with a story.
A story. And I know what some people are thinking right now.
What are they thinking?
A story, but my English is not good enough to tell a story.
And to that I say, yes it is. It absolutely is.
Because a story does not have to be long. It does not have to be complicated. It does not have to be perfectly structured.
A story just has to be real, something that actually happened, something you actually felt.
And here's why stories are so powerful in conversation.
When you tell a story, the other person stops evaluating your grammar.
They stop noticing your accent.
They stop counting your mistakes.
And they just listen because they want to know what happens next.
That is the magic of a story. It pulls people in. It makes them forget everything else.
And the most beautiful thing, you already have hundreds of stories inside you right now.
Things that happened to you, things that made you laugh, things that surprised you, things that changed you.
Every single one of those is a story you can tell in English.
Let me show you how this works. Someone asks, have you ever been really embarrassed?
Basic answer, yes, one time at school. Nothing to work with.
Story answer, oh yes, one time I was in a very important meeting at work, and I wanted to say something confident, something impressive, and I completely mixed up my words. What came out made the whole room go very quiet, and then my manager very smoothly changed the subject, and I have never been so grateful for anyone in my life.
And now I want to ask, what did you say? What happened next?
The conversation is alive because a story was told.
And notice the vocabulary in that story was not advanced. The grammar was not complicated.
But it was real. It was human. It had feeling. And feeling in any language always connects people.
Now, how do you practice telling stories in English? Because this is the practical question.
Start small. Every day, take one thing that happened to you. Just one thing. Maybe something funny happened on your commute. Maybe something surprised you at work. Maybe your coffee was terrible this morning.
Anything at all.
And tell that story out loud in English.
To yourself, to your mirror, to your cat, to anyone who will listen.
Because the more you tell stories out loud in English, the more natural it becomes.
And slowly, telling a story in English stops feeling like a performance.
And starts feeling like just talking.
Which is exactly what it is.
Exactly what it is. Now, step 3, and this one, I think, is the one that changes everything.
Step 3, stop translating, start thinking.
This is the big one.
The one that most learners never address, the one that holds everyone back.
Because here's what most learners do. Someone asks them something in English, and in their head, they translate the question into their own language, think of the answer in their own language, translate the answer back into English, and then speak.
Which takes how long?
Too long. Way too long. And by the time the answer is ready,
the conversation has already moved on.
Or the silence has become awkward.
Or the learner has given up and just smiled and nodded.
The smile and nod, the universal sign of, I have no idea what you just said, but I am too nervous to admit it.
I know that smile. I have worn that smile.
Everyone has worn that smile. But the translation step, that's the thing that slows everything down.
And the solution is stop going through your language. Go directly to English.
Think in English, not about English, in English.
And I know what people are thinking again.
What?
The how. How do I think in a language I'm still learning?
And the answer is slowly, gradually, with small habits every day.
Start with your morning. When you wake up, instead of thinking, in your language, I'm tired, I want coffee, what time is it?
Think those thoughts in English. I'm so tired today. I really need coffee right now. What time is it?
3 simple thoughts in English before you even get out of bed.
And then, when you're getting dressed, narrate what you're doing in English, in your head. I'm putting on my jacket. I can't find my keys again. Today is going to be a good day.
Simple sentences, basic vocabulary, but in English, directly, no translation.
And when you're walking to work, or on the bus, or making lunch, describe what you see, what you feel, what you think, in English.
It's quite cold today. That cafe looks lovely. I wonder what I should have for lunch.
And at first, it feels strange, a little uncomfortable, because your brain is not used to it. It wants to go back to the familiar language, the comfortable one.
But every time you resist that, every time you stay in English,
You're building a new pathway in your brain.
a direct road from thought to English without going through translation.
And the more you use that road, the faster it becomes. Until one day, someone asks you something in English, and the answer comes.
Not after translation, not after a long pause.
Just immediately, naturally, from you.
That is fluency. That is what it feels like.
And it starts not in a classroom, not in a textbook, but in your own head every single day.
With small thoughts, simple sentences, real moments.
Your life narrated in English.
What a beautiful way to practice.
I think so too.
Now, let's put all 3 steps together. One situation, all 3 steps working together.
Perfect. Situation. You are at a networking event. Someone you just met asks you, "So, what do you like to do outside of work?"
Basic answer is, I like reading and cooking. It's fine, but flat, forgettable.
Now, with all 3 steps.
Step 1, expand the answer. I really love cooking, actually. I find it very relaxing after a long day. There is something satisfying about making something from scratch.
Step 2, connect with a story. Last weekend, I tried to make homemade pasta for the first time. It was supposed to be simple. It was not simple. My kitchen looked like a flour explosion, but the pasta was actually surprisingly really good.
Now I'm completely engaged. I want to ask, what kind of pasta? Did you follow a recipe?
Step 3, the whole answer came directly, in English. No translation, no pausing to calculate, just thinking and speaking in English.
3 steps, 1 natural answer, 1 memorable moment.
And the other person thinks, wow, this person is so easy to talk to.
Not because of perfect grammar,
Not because of advanced vocabulary,
but because they expanded. They told a story, and they spoke from a place of genuine English thinking.
3 steps. That's all.
Let me say something honest now. These 3 steps, they are not magic.
They will not make you fluent overnight.
No, nothing will.
But they will, if you practice them every single day, change the way you speak, gradually, steadily, permanently.
Because fluency is not a destination you arrive at one day.
It is a road you walk every day.
And every expanded answer is 1 step on that road.
Every story you tell is 1 step.
Every English thought you think is 1 step.
Small steps, every day, add up to something enormous.
And one day, you'll be in a conversation in English and you'll realize, I'm not translating anymore. I'm not pausing. I'm not calculating.
I'm just talking.
And that moment, that beautiful, ordinary moment of just talking,
Is everything you worked for.
and it's coming. I promise, it's coming.
Okay, final summary. Simple and clear.
Step 1, expand your answers. Don't just answer the question. Give a reason, add a detail, share a feeling. Keep the conversation alive.
Yes, I like my job, especially the creative parts. Better than just yes.
Step 2. Tell a story. Connect your answer to something real that happened to you. Stories pull people in. Stories make you memorable. Stories make grammar invisible.
One real moment from your life told simply is more powerful than perfect grammar.
Step 3. Think in English. Stop translating. Start narrating your life in English. Every morning, every commute, every meal, every small moment.
The more you think in English, the faster you speak in English.
3 steps. Simple, real, powerful.
And completely yours to start today.
Before we go,
If this episode gave you even one thing to try today,
please like this video.
subscribe to Talk Emma, new episode every single day.
Share this with one person who knows English but can't seem to speak it fluently.
Because they might be one episode away from everything changing.
And leave us a comment. Which step are you going to try first? Step 1, expand your answers. Step 2, tell a story. Step 3, think in English.
Tell us below. We read every single comment. Everyone.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for working on your English. Thank you for not giving up.
Because the fact that you are here, listening, learning, trying,
That already makes you someone who is going to get there.
see you in the next episode. Until then, keep talking, keep learning, and keep growing. Bye, everyone.